does grace come? How does grace come? It comes by faith. Did you know that? It comes by faith and humility. It takes faith to acknowledge you're nobody, you're nothing, and he's everything. See, people are teaching a faith that takes from God instead of a faith that surrenders to God. See, there's a faith that takes from God. Do you take from God? Yeah, I take from God what I need to do the will of God. See, God's given me faith. So I take that faith and I say, okay, there's God's will. The opposition's in front of me. I don't care. I'm going to do God's will. I take the grace, the divine ability to do the will of God. Now, I've had a lot of experiences. And I'm not bragging. It's only because I know I'm nothing. I know I'm nothing. I know that I am nothing and less than nothing without Jesus Christ. So here, about 2 weeks ago, our light went out on the tower. We got to have the lights on because the FAA, the FCC, they'll shut you down. We have a radio station that God gave us, and I have to have it running. So we said, I was going to climb it, but I really don't want to. Last time, because usually when I climb it, it takes me, and when I was in my younger years, we haven't climbed it for 10 years, I pay for it for the next 2 weeks. I walk around like a gorilla. My arms and my legs are all bunched up, and I'm like this. And I'm talking about when I was in my 20s, and I didn't have this extra 20 pounds I got to get rid of. And I was like this. So I didn't really want to climb the tower, so I get down there, and one of the young men said, Pastor Mike, I'll climb it. You know how the young men are boastful and proud. I'll do it. I don't want to do it, Lord. I'll do it. I don't want to do it, Lord. He said, I'll climb it. I said, are you sure you can get the job done? Well, yeah, Pastor. So I get up there, and I'm not picking on him because it's easy to say you can do something and find out. He got up about 50 feet, and my son Daniel was there and others, and he began to tremble like a leaf in the wind. I thought, uh-oh, we're in trouble. It's only 18 inches wide. He had to go up 250 feet. Look at that skinny tower across the street. You'll see it there. So he climbed up, got the first set of light finally. He was up there less than 3 minutes and came back down. He said, I couldn't find a problem. I said, you can't be up there for just 3 minutes, man. You gotta tear stuff apart. You got to look at it. So, and plus he broke, one of the bulbs were broken there, and so he didn't replace that. And so then about 3 days later, I ordered a new climbing belt because our regular climbing belt disappeared. So we had this other climbing belt was made for trees, not the right one. So I ordered it, but during that time in 3 days, they said the guys got back down there again. I went down there and said, Pastor, I know we got to get this. So another guy climbed up there. He got up there to the middle light, same guy. He was up there for about maybe 5 minutes. I walked away, and he said he was hyperventilating and he couldn't breathe. That's about maybe 175 feet up. So he came back down. I told him, I said, now, if you go up there this time, don't you come back down till you fix it. I said, there ain't no if and but, you got to fix it. I said, because we're going to get a fine from the FCC, the FAA. I said, if a plane runs into that tower, we're really in trouble because it's got to be lit. So he came back down. So I just knew now, I knew in my heart that I was going to have to climb this tower. I just knew it in my heart. But here's the problem. Now, how many know when God heals you, the devil's going to come back to you? So I had broken my foot one time, my ankle, and my ankle was trying to act up on me. Felt like I couldn't walk on it. Well, I had ripped my kneecap off one time from a snowmobile accident, and my kneecap felt like it was giving out on me. I had broke my back one time as a young man hauling bags of feed, and my back snapped, but God healed me. Now my back's acting. I had a stomach disorder one time because somebody told me that it was good eating garlic, and so I started with 1 clove of garlic a day, ended up with 10 cloves a day, and I burned a hole in my stomach, and I got acid reflux. How many know we need God because we're stupid? So God healed me of that acid reflux, but now my stomach was acting up. And then other pains began to hit my body. So the devil says to me, oh, you can't climb that tower. Your ankle's giving out, your knee's giving out, your stomach's hurting, your back is hurting. You can't climb that tower. But guess what Paul said? When I am weak, then I'm strong. That's when the grace of God comes in. Because now I really need help. So I strapped all the equipment on and began to climb the tower. I'm praying all the way. Man, my legs Charlie Horse is trying to visit me everywhere. You know, I get 50, 60 feet up, man, I'm climbing that tower. Man, my knee's trying to give out. My ankle's trying to, the devil's saying, you're dead, you're stupid, you're going to get stuck up there, you're going to fall. And I just shut up, devil, in the name. How many know I was depending upon God to get me up there and get me down? To make a long story short, I get up there and find out major electrical problems. The wires got blown off. I had to send the guys over to come. I'm up on that tower. The sun is setting. I don't have no flashlight. The wind is picking up, trying to blow me off the tower. I'm up there for 3 hours. I got a utility knife with a razor blade. I'm having to cut the tape, and I'm almost cutting my hand with the razor blade, trying to put everything together. They can't find the wire. Somebody stole the wire. They got to try to figure out what to do. They get an extension cord. They do this, they do that, pull it up with a piece of twine. Thank God Brother Jim had enough brains to have me take a piece of twine with a roll-on end where I could pull stuff up. I'm up there, honest to God. I'm up there. 230 feet up there, man. I'm working on this stuff, putting it together, and I'm telling you, I'm up there, and the grace of God hit me. Woo! I started laughing. I'm not lying to you. It was like out of my belly came this invisible strength, and I'm up there. I could have stayed up there all night long. The grace of God hits me. I'm up there, and I start laughing, and I'm enjoying myself. Even though my legs are still cramping and my hands have turned like claws because they're so cold and I can't open them. But I've got peace that passes understanding. And finally, I got the job done. I came down. Now, in the natural, I was already hurting. By the next morning, I should have been like a crippled man. Listen, honest to God, I got up on Thursday morning, and not only was I not one bit sore, but every single symptom was gone